This story is sadness, death, love, sadness. This story is boy. Boy born in backwater and made into man by disillusionment and sadness. This boy was happy when family and faith meant the watchful eyes of God and annual trips to Baltimore to see the seals or eat at Planet Hollywood. This boy, who we shall call Death Kid because that is how he thought of himself, loved happiness in spite of, or because bonding meant his father pretending to feed him to the T-Rex skeleton at a museum or the lions at the zoo. But a life with high school and without God is a life unhappy despite what atheists would have us believe. But Death Kid would remind himself that Fran Lebowitz saw happiness as childish and pessimism as adult. But what was probably not adult of these new things Death Kid discovered about himself was crippling senses of ugliness and unlovability. And although he sensed and knew that the struggles of others were often profoundly more justified than his, Death Kid walked through life praying for the courage to meet death, finding only solace in the gaze. Objectification, Death Kid came to realize, was the primary hope that life hinged upon. Inside, he could feel the profound emptiness of breathing oxygen into a ribcage unfulfilled by a fullness of heart amplified and justified by mind's eye. Because, as fishermen know, unrequited love is the reason to keep moving. But one could only feel so much ugliness for so long before the courage one prayed for came through overnight shipping. Death Kid finds himself in the predicament of being without his crucial objectification, as he strays from home, all the while feeling more ugly and more unlovable. He thinks that he will spend the rest of his life narrowly avoiding the brave foray into suicide, sinking like a stone into the bowels of self-loathing. But then Death Kid finds this woman, and again he's able to give his misery purpose, to be ugly and love a beautiful person. But this time Death Kid feels something he never anticipated, the need to reveal the profound emptiness he harbored towards so many others. Wrapped in the perfection of this new gaze was a new, foolish notion that perhaps we all at times feel hideous and unlovable, and that this girl could possibly feel the same hollowness when she breathes looking at him. Death Kid allows himself to dream, but his dreams are tormented by the fear of being rejected and having his deepest, darkest fantasies confirmed. Of being thrown aside and told that he is too ugly and too worthless to be loved by anybody except the linoleum tub that will surely hug his limp corpse when he one day slits his wrists in the shower. What a hard eclipse of natural tendency it is to harm oneself.
But this one might make me do it, or I won't have to do it. My chest will merely expand as I breathe one last time, and my brittle ribs will recontract and crush my heart and lungs into a bleeding pulp inside of my chest cavity, and it will be a fitting end.
One day this girl and Death Kid, by the grace of God or Satan, are all alone with each other, and Death Kid simply asks,
"What do you want to do for the rest of your life?"
And the girl intuits marvelously.
Do you love me?
Yes.
Do you think that I am beautiful?
Yes.
Why?
You are the most beautiful woman I have ever known, and I have no reason to believe otherwise.
Do not call me a woman.
I am sorry.
Do you want to have sex with me?
I want to make love to you.
Same thing. You have made things complicated.
I am sorry.
By calling me a woman and saying make love, you have only made them more complicated.
You don't have to love me if you don't want to.
I don't. I found you repulsive and ugly, and I don't understand how anyone could find their way to loving you.
I understand.
Now what? Nothing left, and Death Kid spirals into an emotion he has never truly felt before, but realizes is the eclipse of the notion of self-preservation. No, not dead. This was one of the things Death Kid was always afraid of, paralyzed from the neck down, now a thinking vegetable attached to a human body, ready to serve out a life of miserable meaninglessness, without the person he loved more than anything in the world that won't mercifully kill him. The only vain hope will be that the girl will be repulsed by him enough to let him wait in the road for a careless driver, and then a tire will come spinning down and crush the lights of existence, and Death Kid will be released from his suffering. All it would take is one wheel, one car, one careless person. All it would take was the sight of a rubber moon eclipsing life and ending it.